Hello, everyone, and welcome to Sideshow America.
Sideshow America.
Today, yes, we have to do it. We have to. You know, we were going to go there.
It's coming.
We're going to have to talk about this speech. We're going to have to talk about, you know what speech I'm talking about with Biden. We're going to go...
Emperor Biden.
We're going to talk how things are going. Because the thing is, I don't really want to go over everything everyone's talking about on every channel. They're all great. They're all awesome. I'm trying to be the one that pieces the whole thing together. So...
Yeah.
So, like, you know, a lot of people just sit there and talk, but I observe. I study 24/7, and I don't want to say I'm a know-it-all, but I just see where, hey, wait, whoa, that's piecing together, and a lot of other people are not piecing it together because they're too busy taking care of their part of the news. And when you really study everything, it's impossible to keep up with all of it. There's no way you can. I'm here to tell you.
Angles, you know.
Yeah. So, and if you watched our last episode, which was uploaded Friday night, that was heavily censored. If that episode didn't make sense, we just put it on because we had some stuff we wanted everyone to hear. But there was stuff we talked about with trans kids and how they are luring. And I'm going to say it again. If we get censored again, we get censored again.
Luring and grooming.
Yeah, I mean, what they were doing, and I don't want to get too far into this, but we didn't get to say in the last episode because I cut it out a lot. People that listen to it like this doesn't make sense. I had to cut out a lot. Basically the show that I'm watching, they're saying it's drag kids, but what it really is trans kids because, people will accept drag kids but not trans kids. I know that sounds weird, but that's how you can get the low-hanging fruit. Do you know what I mean? Like you take some of these people that trans kids, that's wrong. You shouldn't do that. But a kid comes out in drag, they don't care. It's kind of like that little, I don't want to say subliminal message, but do you know what I mean? It's kind of creeps into your psyche and you're not going to do a lot against it. Holy crap, our neighbors are loud.
Yeah.
I don't know if they can hear this on our podcast, but they are loud. So
Party time.
It is
Friday night.
It is Friday night, man. So, anyways, start off with Emperor Biden, and we've been watching commentary all day. All of you guys probably have, and a
lot of comparisons to old fascist regimes.
Well, I'm going to hit from this angle, and you can go ahead and go there too with that. What did we hear for 4 years? From about 2016 to about 2020, how evil Trump was. His tweets. He's a fascist. He's a bigot. I mean, there was so many attacks. Everything that guy said and did, he was in trouble for by somebody.
Well, and still 2 years after he's out of office, you're still getting that. You're still hearing about Trump all the time.
Exactly. And my thing is, all these people that attacked Trump, was this just a self-righteous, I'm kind of lost. Now that it's 2022, I go back and I look and I'm like, what was the point of this? Were you really worried where the country was going? Or were you just was this evident of how the media controls us and what we think, what we say, and how we say it? The reason why I'm pointing that out is because the media is telling us that how awesome Joe Biden is, and there's all this attack on the conservatives, all these attacks on Republicans, and everyone's complaining about fascists, transphobia, homophobia, racist, and you got the biggest racists, the biggest bigots, the obviously fascists in control, and nobody is saying anything right now. Not one single person. So that's proof to me that we're easily manipulated.
Oh, yeah.
Because if we really were thinking for ourselves, when you talk to people do defend Biden.
Oh, all the time.
And my thing is this is why you're sheep. Because if you really hated Trump because you're concerned for the country and where it's going, you'd be pissed at this too.
Well, no,
that's why I can't buy these narratives.
Well, and that's kind of the thing, is people hated Trump not because he ran America bad, because he was one of the best presidents we've ever had, but they hated him because he was mean sometimes. He called people out on their shit. He wasn't part of the swamp. He wasn't part of the stuff that's going on. He couldn't bribe him with your special interest to say things that he didn't agree with.
Well, exactly. And see, the thing is, I think he was attacked all the time because they knew they have a club. You know, George Carlin, did you see that one special he had? It's floating around the internet where he talked about we really don't have freedom or own anything. We're not part of the club and we're not invited. I don't know if you remember that or if you've seen that.
Back in the day.
Well, Donald Trump might be really rich and wealthy, but he's not part of that club.
No.
I'm not trying to praise him.
No,
'Cause I know there's people that get offended. You're talking about Donald Trump.
no.
I'm going to turn this off. No, he just
Another example of that would be old money. You know, look at England, the United Kingdom. The Queen is from old money. What's the lady that wrote the Harry Potter books? J.K. Rowling?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, she became a billionaire after writing those books. She's got more money than the Queen. But she'll never be accepted into the old circles like the Queen is. So it's kind of similar there.
Well, that's something to think about.
She'll never be part of that club. Even though she could buy and sell the Queen with all the money she has, she'll never be accepted into that group.
Well, see, that's the problem with the modern world. Because I've been studying these videos and these talks and these lectures on how we're all oppressed, how the blacks are oppressed, and how Hispanics are oppressed, women are oppressed. Everyone's oppressed except for
White males.
a white male, a homeless white male out here shitting himself. So he's not oppressed, but everybody else is. And what you just now said about J.K. Rowling, the thing about the modern Western world is we can now be our own kings. Do you realize what we have now? Like, I don't know about you. I struggle financially, but sometimes I have to remind myself I have it far better than even some of the wealthy people that founded our country.
Oh, yeah.
Some of that.
Yeah, if you go in the past, like we all live better than, even the people that are so-called oppressed have it way better than they did in the past, than a king would have it in the past. And we have toilet paper.
Yep.
Yeah, I have toilet paper, unless there's
And
another
heat.
COVID pandemic, Yes, I have toilet paper and heat, bottled water sometimes. Hell, even tap water. They didn't even have that back then. So yeah, we are kind of spoiled. With what we have.
No, I mean, and maybe that's the problem. Maybe that's why we're stupid. We don't have to critically think anymore.
Well,
we don't. I mean, guess what thinks for us? The machines.
Oh, yeah. Hey,
The machines think for us.
Yeah, look at calculators, Kids know their times tables usually to 12. 1 through 12 they know. And nowadays, they don't know that stuff. You ask them, what's 10 times 9? Oh, hold on, let me pull out my phone. Pull out the calculator. Like, you can't do that quick math. Or you go to Walmart and the power shuts off, so the registers don't work, and they have to do it all by hand. They don't know how to count out change anymore. They don't know how to make change for $1. The stuff we grew up learning how to do.
Did you see that video floating around when the guy's asking the young lady? It was to make fun of I think Generation Z.
The new one.
How many dimes make $1? And the girl's like, well, which one's the dime?
Right. But I bet you she knows what non-binary means.
Yeah, well, no one knows what that means. I mean, they can explain it, but they're still lost at what non-binary is.
You can put a condom on a banana, but you can't make change for $1.
That's a whole nother rant, man. You just want me to rant about all kinds of stuff today, huh?
Hey,
everything you say, I'm like, oh man, I can branch off of that. I can branch off of this.
It's just you start it, and I keep it going.
Take after my mom. If you want to hear a rant and a half, man, that lady can make your blood curl. Man,
makes me miss my mom.
So back to this speech that I'm just like, how come nobody's upset about this? And I say nobody. I know all the Republicans and all the conservatives are like, wow. I know they keep saying wow, and we're living. Okay, we're not looking at what's going on in this bigger picture, and we keep saying we have to vote this out. We're going to take care of this. Really?
How can you?
Is that how this worked last time?
Yeah.
Did that work in California? Because let me tell you something. There's no way Newsom won. There's no way. Anytime you go online, I'm just going to base this online, okay? And maybe this is a stupid study. Maybe I'm being a primitive dumbass right now. Whenever you see anything like there'll be ads online with something with Newsom, you can go through thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of comments, and there is not one good thing about Newsom, sorry. I can't believe I said Newman, but Newsom. Full of hatred. And this last week, which was funny, is, on our side of the country, there's a heat wave. There's supposedly a heat wave. This heat wave is not that bad. It's not getting as hot as they're saying it is, but I guess
a bunch of babies out there.
And it's only going to last a few days. And in our region, there's a heat wave for a good 3 weeks back in the end of June, beginning of July. And for some reason, right now, because it gets cold, it's cold in the morning still, and it's cold at night. But for some reason, these 3 or 4 days, we got to conserve energy on this side. And Newsom is pushing that. And he's asking people not to charge their cars. Yeah. and he's passed a bill where there can be no more gas vehicles by is it 2035?
Yeah, 2035. Yeah, right. No, so he wants you to not charge your vehicle, but everyone to get these vehicles that you can't charge.
Yes.
Yeah, they're already having rolling blackouts or brownouts, whatever the hell they call them nowadays. They have those all the time. They didn't used to have that.
Well, and the thing is, how they still have these blackouts or these brownouts. Everyone left California. It's horrible over there now. When I went to Oakland, I go to Oakland for tournaments.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Not Oakland, sorry. I can't think tonight. Stockton, thank you.
Yeah, Oakland's
that was a dead town. That was eerily, it was almost like a ghost town. I'm not going to say I'm an expert there because I only stayed there for a couple of days. All I saw was homeless people on the side of the street taking shits. And weird tents made along, chain link fences. But a lot of businesses were still closed. There was blocks just closed down and boarded up. And it was very dead. The traffic was dead. And this was on a Saturday afternoon on a busy part. And, I don't know why it's like that. I can't explain. I don't live there. Maybe people in the comments can explain why. I'm not going to be telling like I'm an expert on it. I'm just saying when I was there, compared to when you're going through Sacramento, where traffic is insane.
Or L.A.
Or L.A. It was for our city. It was dead. It was eerie. Point being, where we live, so many Californians have flocked there. They flocked to Texas. They flocked to Florida. So you would think their power grid is a little easier to deal with this year. Maybe I'm wrong, and I hope someone in the comments can be like, well, here, and I'm not looking for an argument. I'm not looking for, this is why you're wrong. I'm not trying to be right. I have a very sincere question. Why is this heat wave worse than the one this last summer? And why is it even worse in California or this side of the country? Because everybody's left. So, legitimately, what's different about it? Is there a logical reason for it?
Well, it's kind of like the global cooling is coming up. We call it winter. Global warming. It's also known as summer, ladies and gentlemen. we call that a couple months of summer. That's how it is. This year, it's not any hotter than it was last year. Last year, we had more hundreds. This year, there's 99s. Is that really a heat wave? I don't see it. Not one bit. I do enjoy the brisk mornings and nights, though. It's kind of nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, it does kind of make you wonder, why is California so bad when all the people left? Yeah, well, not all the people left. I think Pelosi's still got her castle in California somewhere, and Newsom obviously has his castle there, and a bunch of other rich folks still live there. It's just, I think it's just the middle class that left. If there's still people pooping in the streets, then obviously the homeless are still there. One street's just as good as another, right? Like one sidewalk, poop here, poop there, fling your poop. It's all good.
You probably gotta start being careful where you step.
Yeah.
I think we're starting to become I shouldn't say anything because before I sound uneducated. There's this African country.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Tegucigalpa.
No, I can't remember the name of it, but that place is just like lawless, completely lawless, and lots of prostitutes. Lots. I mean, there's a city just owned by prostitutes, and people have to go to the beach in the sand. And they shit on the sand and go back to the city, or sometimes they shit in the street, and you just walk. It's where General. You guys are gonna laugh at this, but he's a legit general. But it's where General Buck Naked was in the middle of genocide because they had some genocide, and one of the generals was General Buck Naked because he would go and fight naked.
Yeah, who could forget General Buck?
Yeah, well, I think and this was a place too where they would go in, and to show they meant business, they would kill the kids and eat the kids. They would eat
cannibals.
the kids. Yeah, so I mean, we're getting way off, but I'm saying, but here, okay, but it all goes together because we're slowly turning into this. We're turning into a demonic nation because we have Joe Biden giving this speech, and you have that eerie red background, and even CNN tried to censor that background. If you go and watch it, they tried to turn it a little bit more bluish, and it turned like more of a magenta.
Messing with the tint, right?
Messing with the tints. So here we go. He's attacking Republicans, MAGA Republicans. And one reason why I brought up I hope you guys watched the last episode we did, is we had a few people here with us that are clueless what the hell's going on, that some of the stuff horrifies them. And I love how they're trying to label people that kind of have a little bit of moral, just a little bit, that they're MAGA Republicans. They're full of hate. They're bigots. I know girls that make out with girls, and I know guys that are just drug, just whatever they can do, party, that is everything liberals love, and they're actually a little bit horrified at some of the stuff they're hearing and seeing. So let me reassure people, it's not just conservatives or MAGA conservatives or MAGA Republicans.
Well, people forget what MAGA stands for. Doesn't it mean Make America Great Again?
Yes.
What the hell's wrong with that? Like on either side. Like what's
You
wrong
can't
with
have
having
a
a good
flag.
country?
You can't pray to God.
Hey, well,
You can't say MAGA.
if they don't like America, they can just leave, right?
That African country.
Yeah, like I know.
That I gotta find the name of that country,
Yeah,
man.
prostitute country. That's something I ought to look
Man,
at.
when you take your segment over, I gotta find that country and you gotta look some stuff up, man. It's
Yeah, I didn't even know there was such a place. I mean, you had me until
dude,
you said
it's-
poop
it's-
on the sand.
It's
like one giant litter box. Huh?
When you study on that country, dude, it's pretty horrifying. It's pretty horrifying. I want to say Somalia, but I don't think it's Somalia. I
It's
doubt
like Sin
it's.
City. Like that.
Oh, that's why we're.
No.
It's
The movie
bad.
Sin City. There was a part where, the prostitutes owned like Lowtown or something. They called it. So.
Well, I think they're getting ready to make a move because before we go too far off the subject, all this is leading to, and the reason why I brought up the last episode and the reason why I said that is because don't be fooled that it's Republicans versus liberals, which a majority of that is. There's people, everyday people, that just can't believe what's going on. And it's stupid to start. I mean, you do have to have that label. I'm sorry you do, but there's a lot of people, too, that are kind of caught in between that are horrified. But I think they're getting ready to make a move. I'm not sure how they're going to do it. This is where I like to piece stuff together because we have the FBI raid. We got this big production with Donald Trump, a big production. And then I've noticed this last week they're trying to, well, I don't know if they're trying to hush up. I'm sorry. But it got quiet about that thing with the vaccine and the FDA approval with Trump. They were trying to push that last week, and all of a sudden that just dropped off because I think that backfired. I think people are looking at that and like, what the
Well, what they're doing, too, it's like they're going to indict him. That's the latest rumor. She's going to be indicted. But they want to wait till after the November elections because by just saying we're going to indict him, it puts a stigma on him. Why would you indict him if he's a good person? He must be bad. Don't vote for this guy. Don't vote for anyone he endorses. That's why they do it afterwards. It's all to take control of the narrative.
Well, I don't know if because we have the FBI raid. We also had Mark Zuckerberg come out.
Oh yeah, that was great.
And you guys can look that up about that Facebook was censoring things.
Yeah.
Well, the laptop story, but was the laptop story the only thing we need to worry about?
If you censor one, you'll censor them all.
And then we have now that some of the attorneys involved with January 6th, they're just defending clients because we have that right in this country. We have that right. They're actually being arrested and they're being questioned.
For defending.
So here's a problem we're starting to have that's creeping in. It's not even creeping in. It's here. This is the problem with you American people. This is the problem with us. It's here because January 6th, and I want to be careful what I say, so FBI doesn't knock on our door or our listeners' doors. You listen to these guys, we need to arrest you. But the Capitol is owned by the people.
Exactly. It's ours.
I'm not condoning violence. I think they should have had a smart plan to try to get in and talk to people, talk to Pelosi. I'm talking nice right now.
And how much violence was
But the
actually
thing
there?
is, all the violence in 2020, all the violence, you had people, I think it was Rochester, New York, where BLM walked through and they got it on their roofs or going through their yards. And you had politicians pushing that.
Yeah.
And
the
we're-
vice president,
we're-
they're out there rioting, and they should be. She flat out
Yes,
told
that's
them
what
they
she
should
said.
be.
That's what she said. Be careful how you said that because they're going to say you said that. But it's actually, you're repeating what the vice president said.
Yes.
So we have, the FBI, how they handle Twitter on Facebook. And one thing, though, I want to bring up about the thing with Facebook is we have been picking a lot on Facebook and YouTube. All of us pick on them. But I thought of something today. Have we thought of the pressure that's being put on them? Do we know if their families are okay? Do we know if they're being threatened? Did they become a power and the government's like, hey, guess what? We got you by the balls. You don't like it? Guess what? We're going to rape your wife while you watch.
Well, see, that's
Do we know what's going on behind the scenes? Because, this could be happening too. Like, we're mad at Mark Zuckerberg. Maybe they got him bent over the barrel.
No, and that's what someone had suggested when I was watching the interview. They said, because he'd said the FBI had told him to keep an eye out for it. They suggested that he keep an eye out for that misinformation, disinformation, And then the lady made a good point. She said, when the FBI taps you on the shoulder and makes a suggestion, it's not a suggestion. It's do this or face the consequences. Like you're saying, maybe not rape your wife in front of you, but maybe your kids. Who knows? I mean, what kind of barrel are they over?
There has to be something going on, and this is probably where we're going to get in trouble because you have the FBI going in and raiding Donald Trump. You have these attorneys being arrested. You have Facebook censoring things. You have YouTube censoring things. So there is somebody clearly at the head of this. It's like the mafia. We got a big mafia thing going on right now.
Except that Don's an idiot. Yeah. Usually the Godfather or the Don is the smartest one, the one that's running things. Here, I don't think we have that so much.
Do we have a Dan? Maybe it's a Dan.
Yeah, maybe it's a Dan. Maybe it's a Barry. You never know.
Well, I mean, we have this violence in the country. We have some uncertainty. We're watching this happening to our leaders. Like, they went after Alex Jones. They went after, oh God, what's his name? Is it Steve Bannon? Did I got that name right?
Yeah, Steve Bannon.
Steve Bannon. Sorry, Barron. Guys, I am so sorry tonight. I was fighting all night.
It's been a long night.
It's been a long night, man. And, the thing that's happening in this country that's concerning me is we just now watched this thing with Joe Biden. Then we have in our schools, we have CRT theory. We have...
Which is wrong,
You
by the way.
can't say anything about being male or female. We have these drag shows. We want to mutilate these kids. We have... Now, the abortion I've always said is a gray area with me. But this thing they were pushing that nobody knows about, I guarantee our listeners don't know about when they were trying to push after the child is born.
Yeah, a certain
That
amount of time.
you have so much time. I think up to 10 or 11 days if you want to keep it or not, meaning keep it alive. Okay. So, and now we have, this argument with the firearms, which is going to be our next segment, which is going to go all over the place too. So, this leads to, you can't protect yourself, you can't protect your home, you can't pray, but your kid can get his genitals cut off. If a black man jumps you and beats the crap out of you, you can't do anything about it because you're racist. And yes, I did just say what I said. I know I say this a lot on every show because they're trying to brainwash you. They're trying to brainwash where you can't do anything. You're a bad person if this criminal beats you up. If it's a white criminal, that's okay. That's fine. If he's black, you racist son of a bitch. How dare you defend your home? And we did go through a period of that in this country.
By you even noticing that, they would say that too. Well, that's racist
Well,
to even
he broke
notice
into my
such a
house.
thing.
Well, what do you look like?
He was-
Jeez,
He was a male. I think he was male.
his eyes were brown.
Curly hair. He was binary, I think.
I like this weird accent. He kept saying, I'm not going to axe you again.
Yeah, know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying?
But anyways, we're just going completely nuts. And so these same people that have this argument are arguing about guns. And by the way, if you haven't been following what's been going on with guns, my God, dude, I cannot.
They want to take your guns.
They want to take your guns, and some of you need to catch up with what's going on with the ATF, with the stocks, with the triggers. You can be on lists, you will be on watch, and man, it's growing. Well, it is growing. Go ahead.
Just people forget, in Germany years ago in the 30s, I believe it started in the 30s, they started taking the guns away from people too.
They're doing a good job.
Ask the Jews how that turned out.
And I know people are celebrating some of the stuff that they're passing. You're stupid, and I'll tell you why. Not you. You're smart. No, because for every thing that they're making okay or passing, there's 10 other things coming up behind it.
Oh, yeah, the hidden
that
part.
They're making it hard for you to own guns. If they can't take it away, well, they're going to make it hard and inconvenient, or you really can't have that. Or if you want to keep this, what you have to go through in some states when you modify your trigger is ridiculous, and it gives them an excuse to check on you. There's a gun cleaning kit. I'm sorry, guys, I don't know what it's called. I don't know if you know the name of it, but you can also use it as a noise suppressor, and ATF will put you on a list if you have that, and they will come check on you for that.
Which again is funny, because if you watch the movies, that's the only people that think a silencer makes the sound. Gunshots don't sound like that through a suppressor. Everyone still knows it's a gunshot. I don't care what kind of suppressor you got. People know. Unless you're sniping them from 2 miles away, people know if you're shooting somebody, even if you got a 22 and you're using a potato. It still makes a sound. Okay, I'm telling you, the movies make it seem like nobody hears it, but that's bullshit. If you don't believe me, go check it out. Get yourself a 22 and a suppressor, and go fire it out in where you can fire it legally.
And see, they're trying to disarm us because like I said, piecing all this together. They're coming after us. We have IRS agents that are being armed now.
Yeah.
Okay. We have the FBI's kind of got me a little concerned right now. I haven't been paying a lot of attention to it, but tell you what, man, this last month I'm like, I think everybody's right, because when it comes to conspiracies, I like to let it ride out and look at it first, because you can really go into dark places that you don't need to go to because it's not real.
Right, the mind
but something
wanders.
Does not look right. There's too much that doesn't look right, and so anyways, they're going after our guns. And what's funny about this argument? I can't, because I'm around so many people that want to argue about the guns. And guess what? These people are on drugs. And a lot of these people are on illegal drugs. And it's funny, they have their Burning Man, they have their raves, they have, they're on LSD, and they're talking about just being in love and just loving the world and having a peaceful earth. And that drug you're taking where you can have a peaceful experience, do you realize what that goes through to get to you so you can have your nice little rave? The children that have to support that by trafficking, the bloodshed, a whole mess. What does that have to do with anything? Well, here's the thing. We have open borders. You want to get rid of the guns, but you want to have open borders. Well, here's the bad thing about that. You're going to have to keep your guns if you're going to have open borders, because those open borders, you're going to have probably some of the best guns ever that you can imagine coming through that border, and the criminals will have them.
Yeah, because they don't listen to the gun laws we have now.
Exactly.
That's what makes them criminals. They don't follow the laws. So making a new law isn't going to help.
And if you think the Democrat government is stupid doing this, they're not stupid. They're so intelligent. This is the most intelligent plan that they have. This is smart. This is absolutely intelligence, because we're going to make it hard for you to have your guns. They want the enemy to have guns, because that enemy is probably being paid for out of their back pocket.
Well, you ever notice that all the people that are anti-gun, live in a really nice neighborhood, sometimes gated communities, where they have security patrolling with guns. They have Secret Service people following them that have guns. Their private security has guns. Everyone they know has guns. They don't have to worry about it. Go to the ghettos and ask people if we should take away guns.
See, I haven't met those people. See, I've seen the anti-gun people are people that party and have their head in the sand and think nothing bad can happen. And they don't have a problem being raped because they are out of their mind when they're being raped.
Well,
and I know that sounds mean, but I'm sorry. I've been around people like that. Like we're getting to a place where people don't mind being raped. They don't mind being mugged.
Well, it depends on who raped them. Was it a transgender? Was it a black transgender? Because that's even better. You can't do anything to them.
I don't know.
You know, I mean, but if it was a white person that raped you, how's that privilege working on for you? You know? No, it's just I noticed a lot of the people that I see, they're usually affluent, wealthy people. They don't care about getting rid of the guns because they live in a neighborhood where they don't have gun violence. They have security patrolling it. They have their guards. You know, tell those people to get rid of their guns. You know, I don't know. The way I see it, our forefathers kind of saw this coming. They didn't want our government to do stuff we don't want, so they wanted us to keep our weapons.
I tell you what. Okay, I'm glad you said that. Going to go off the rails a little bit here. Okay, so I do have a hard time with religion. I do. I have a hard time with religion, and I have a hard time talking about it, even though I actually do have a belief in it. I don't like the way some people express it. But this country is founded on godly beliefs. And something just kind of dawned on me the other day because my dad used to make me study all the time. I was in a religious private school, and we had to memorize scriptures all the time. And it's kind of funny. I had this thought the other day. I'm like, do you know how many times you will read through that Bible, how many times God had to set his people free? I mean, Genesis, there are so many times cities had to be destroyed. People say, no, well, yes, there was a flood with Noah. There was
Walls
Sodom
of
and
Jericho.
Gomorrah. This was all there. And I mean, there's always a time, even in Exodus, and I'm just giving a summary, guys. I'm not trying to sound uneducated in this. You know, Moses, let my people go. But this keeps happening throughout history. And if you start to study Rome, and during that time when Jesus walked and what Rome was trying to do with the Jews and subdue the Jews. So there's this thing with freedom where there's this belief you get your rights from God and not from government. There's always this satanic fight. So I think when the forefathers, they're like, you know what, we finally found the land of milk and honey. We finally found our place here. But here's how history happens. And I'm saying this because they had biblical beliefs. And I think finally somebody got smart and they're like, this shit keeps happening. So we need to have a country. We need to have a constitution. We need
to take care of our people.
We need to have a way where, you know, this shit keeps happening with, you know, we can say godly people or God's people. And I interpret God's people as free people. That's if, you know, I don't want to get religious. I have a different interpretation as every damn person on the planet. Big deal. But, so, I mean, I guess I just had that thought, you know, that, you know, maybe they really were some of the first people to take that seriously and be like, hey, you know, we went through it. Our people came over here, went through it. You know,
like we're tired of going through this shit.
Yeah, and then we are a biblical nation, and you know,
in God we trust. Yeah, it's printed on the money.
Our, you know, our ancestry and the tribes of Israel went through this, and like we're tired of going through this, you know, and so yeah, you know, that's had that thought, you know.
So they drafted this piece of paper. A couple pieces of paper that kind of made rules so this shit doesn't happen.
Yes, yes. Now, like I said, I hate to say we're there, but again, back to the border. I mean, you know, being open, you can't have an open border, and then these gun laws. No. And I don't care how liberal you are, you're an idiot. And go ahead and tell me. You can leave in the comments why I'm wrong about that. Because the reason why I brought up the thing about drugs, I didn't get to finish that thought, is it's not working with drugs. One reason why is because people make the drugs. They make it illegally. The stuff they can't make, guess what they do? They cross at the border and smuggle it over the border. So yeah. It's not working. And these people that are, I hate this. I'm not trying to insult marijuana, but they're smoking dope. They're doing cocaine. They're, you know, going to the raves and trying out Molly. All stuff you're not supposed to have, except for marijuana. But all stuff you're not supposed to have. But they're against guns. They're for love. But it's not working. They have to find a way to get their cocaine, you know. But yet they're going to like,
But
you
they
know,
love people.
they love people.
Shit, everyone I've ever known that did cocaine, they all had guns. Every person I ever did cocaine with, they had weapons.
Oh man.
I've never met a cocaine user that didn't have a gun or have access to one with a filed off serial number.
See, you've been around some ruffians. I've been around the hippies. I've been around hippies that are high all the time doing weird shit.
Dirty hippies, man.
Dirty hippies that they're the ones that are buying this shit. They're the ones that are like, oh yeah, we need to take guns out of the country. Oh wait, why do you need guns, man? And it's like, dude, the drug laws don't work. Yeah. You base your whole life on the drug laws not working.
No. Well, then
so it's not.
If you take away the people's guns, the only people that got them is the government and the bad guys. We don't want that.
Exactly.
Why would you want that?
So if it's not working with the drugs, it's not going to work with the guns. Does it work with what? Does it work with child pornography?
No, hey, murder's been illegal for how long now?
I don't know.
How many murders do we have every day? You know, people don't follow rules. If there's one thing people don't do, it's follow rules. Some might do it, but a lot of them don't.
Mormons do.
Yeah. Well, you don't have a lot of crime in Mormon towns. Unless they let in the drug-using hippies and their ruffian cocaine users. You know? That's all. I mean, yeah, look at the fentanyl deaths. I don't know what we've had, over like 300 this year, ODs already on fentanyl, which is the most we've had in a while. And it's getting worse. Every day people are dying on that crap because it's coming over the border, unchecked. You know, and you got John Pierre saying, oh, we've caught the biggest bust in a long time. Yeah, you caught the 20 pounds while the 2,000 pounds went right by you. You know, that's how it works. All these people the cartel, you know, they're not stupid. They've ran Mexico for how many years now? You know, and they're starting to flood over here. Like, they're just getting unchecked. I mean, it's a free market. You think about it, like the government's just letting them in. It's not like, and I've said this in one of our other shows.
Wait, the government's letting the cartel in? What do you mean?
Yeah, it's not like we got doctors and lawyers fleeing Mexico and Venezuela. It's not those people. It's the really poor people and the criminals and the drug mules. You know, and the children. I can't forget the children, you know. The children are coming over because, you know, rich people like young people's organs and they can buy them from the cartel. Yeah, but you didn't know that one, did you? That's the new thing, you know. Like, normally you'd take an organ out of a little boy and sell it to Mr. Johnson. But you can make so much more if you sell the whole boy to Mr. Johnson and sell out all the organs, not just the liver or the kidney or the lung. They're worth a lot of money.
Keep that thought, because I just want to ask the viewers, okay, people listening, and if there's any people that really hate Donald Trump, just remember he gave mean tweets. He was a bigot and a fascist and a horrible person.
Was he a fascist?
But yet this stuff was not happening. And I still want to understand, if you really felt that way, how come you're not standing up to this fascist right now? How come? The fascist right now, last night they gave the speech.
Yeah, how come
because this guy's allowing this stuff to happen.
Oh yeah, not only allowing, he's promoting it. And his people aren't even... Like Jean Pierre, the speaker, the secretary, what the hell's her job title? The liar, the one that gets on TV and lies every day. Yeah,
secretary.
Yeah, so she's looking at the videos like, that's not happening. They're not just walking over by the thousands. Bullshit. I mean, open your eyes. It's happening. That's what they want to happen.
See, and we got, like I said, we got short memory spans, and we're allowing a lot to happen. Because remember there for a while, was it last year, all the things with the kids, where they're throwing the kids over and the kids are being abandoned.
Yeah, kids were dying.
And we had that going on. Nobody cares about that. All they're worried about is their prissy little boy that's 13 years old, if he's going to be a boy or a girl. They're worried about that.
Yeah, and
do we still have Americans left in Kabul?
Real Americans? Yes.
We forgot about that.
I'm pretty sure we still do.
We totally have forgotten about that.
Right.
We haven't,
Well, and that was something, I hate to keep bringing up the T word, but back when we had the orange guy in office, people were afraid of us, in a sense. Like, you kind of want a leader that demands respect. This shit wasn't happening when he was there. It just wasn't happening. People didn't take advantage because we didn't have Sleepy Joe. We had a wide awake, alert president. Yeah, he was an asshole. He was mean. He grabbed pussies. He paid prostitutes. But in the end, what's wrong with that? Aren't you supposed to pay the prostitute? Wouldn't there be a bigger problem if you didn't pay the prostitute? Wouldn't that be a crime?
That's right. That's right, man.
I mean,
I don't trust anyone that just like,
You're stealing the goods. You didn't pay for that.
Well, and the thing is, like, okay, when everyone's insulted by him, okay, here's one part I wanted to address. I am sick and tired of Republicans and conservatives that say, he was a good president. I just had a problem with the way he handled stuff. You're stupid. You're dumb. You're an idiot. You're a bigger idiot than the liberal. And I'll tell you why, okay? Do you see everything happening in the country right now? And he's supposed to be a nice guy about it. We should be like him right now. We should be calling people out like him.
Oh,
we should be. So our equipment just cut out on us. But I was talking about Trump, okay? Like, I'm sick of Republicans. Like, they'll be like, whoa, at least Trump. Because today I heard so much like, well, I just, just when the guy tweeted certain things, it just bothered me. And it's like, we've been asleep for so long. You got somebody that wasn't asleep that knew what was coming.
He was calling people out on their shit.
And the thing is, this is the problem. Like, right now, who's calling these people out right now? Nobody is. And I'm sorry, people like us, we're doing this podcast, and I almost feel like more needs to be done. And what I'm talking about more is more activity.
We're not talking about a revolution, all right, feds? Although our country was founded with the revolution.
That's right.
So
that's right. And I'm sick. And one of the things that I do hear a lot of people talk about is the Dems actually they got their shit together better than we do. They really do. Even better. I said, even libertarians. I'm gonna knock.
Explain yourself.
Yeah. Well, okay. Here's why. Because the Dems, CNN is in tune with Biden. Biden and Harris are in tune. All the Dems are in tune with each other. Everything from the Senate to the teachers that we see, the teachers board, to people that come into the building or place of business that when they talk, you can't stand it because they're so stupid. They don't know what they're talking about. Okay. Then conservatives and Republicans, they still have Disney Plus.
Oh, yeah.
They still,
Well, it was a good deal. I think it was like $6.99, and you got it for a year. I mean, how can you beat that?
They're still divided. I still feel like they're not on the same page. I still feel like they argue about things. I still feel like they don't back up each other. Like, when you talk about January 6th, what do? We have to make a disclaimer. You had people that were like, we're going to go in and we're going to change stuff. But the rest of us, even me, we make a disclaimer, right? We have to make a disclaimer. Well, FBI, don't come and get us. We have to make a disclaimer. And the thing is, they're not afraid to go. Democrats are not afraid to go in and burn down a town. Republicans were like, January 6th wasn't that bad. There was no violence, but they shouldn't have gone in like that.
Yeah,
that's what I mean, that the Republicans do not. And another reason, too, why we don't have it together. Again, what I just said about Trump. He did a lot of good things, but, man, they should have taken Twitter away from him. He just... but if it wasn't for that, I think we could have, I could have gotten along with him a little better.
No, well, and see, that goes back to the media. The media got everyone to hate him. I told my boss this years ago, I was like, man, the guy could have cured cancer and world hunger, and they still wouldn't like him. There'd still be a problem. Oh, well, he grabbed a girl's pussy. So? At least as far as we know, she was over the age of this Biden and so he wasn't caught grabbing the pussy of a young girl, and he wasn't sniffing the hair of younger girls either. What's creepier, folks? Let's be honest. I was gonna say, what male out there hasn't grabbed a pussy at one time in their life if they're straight? I know the gay ones probably haven't, but come on. Shit happens.
The gay ones have. Yes, they have.
Maybe that's what turned them gay. They didn't like it.
Well, there's some out there. I can see why.
I don't get it, but that's it, man. More people need to speak up. More people need to kind of do what he did. Maybe not be jerks, and tweet all the time. But what's wrong with calling people out on shit when you're doing something wrong? I mean, isn't that kind of what we're supposed to do? Isn't like the old saying, a friend will tell you if you got egg on your face.
Well, but see, here's the thing, though. Here's why he was an asshole, and this is why I'm talking to people. Hopefully we have some listeners that are like on the fence of this, and hopefully we can convince them. Okay, you got to realize the way this country was founded and the way it's supposed to be ran. We have a Second Amendment that we should not be fighting or arguing over stuff, and we are. Both sides are. So you're going to have somebody in office that's kind of like an asshole. That's just not going to listen to
like
it.
A father figure.
Exactly. And I mean, you got people that are cheating. You got pedophiles. There's things being broke open right now. The other thing too is you have to have a leader in office, because we're losing our republic. We are. And it's Joe Biden says it's us, it's the Republicans, but really who voted in the IRS and who voted in this new thing that they're doing? I want to know. Because it wasn't us.
No, and it wasn't the Dems either.
We run this country.
No, and that's kind of the thing. They're moving towards this one-party system.
Yes.
No opposition. Any
Exactly.
opposition will be crushed and investigated and smeared.
So you have to have somebody in there that's kind of picking on you and bullying you and pushing you around and,
not
slapping you, because that's what we need right now. And the thing is, people are like, he wasn't very nice. I'd rather deal with that than what we're dealing with right now, where people are starting to threaten each other, and now you're starting to have drag shows where there's armed militia out in front. Yeah. Okay, I mean, I'm just saying.
I go back to the schooling I had. Whether it was elementary, middle school, high school, college, it's all the same. The teachers that were the assholes, they're the ones I remember. They're the ones that helped me learn by not taking my shit, not letting me take the easy road. If I messed something up, they would get on me and, help me correct the mistakes. Like that's what most people remember. Not the nice ones that let you fucking slide by and not study, but the ones that were on you all the time. Those are the ones you remember. I mean, think back to your parents. Like, I don't know if your mom or dad was hard on you, but you remember those lessons. That's the stuff you kind of need. You can't have some sleepy old man that doesn't give a shit.
I mean, I could compare it to like martial arts.
Yeah.
One reason why martial arts is MMA is so dominant right now is because there's been so many martial arts where you stand in the mirror, you're punching and kicking, and you're paying the instructor. They're giving you your belts. You say, I have a black belt in karate. Well, kind of. And then someone does MMA for 3 months and beats the shit out of a guy who does karate for 4 years. And I'm not talking about real karate. You know what I mean? Hopefully listeners know what I'm talking about. Like the karate where it's the family oriented and it's more of a business and they give a certificate. You can't really fight, but you got the kick down. Yeah, you know the material.
You've been here for 3 months.
Here you go.
Here's
But then
belt.
you go into an MMA school and it's actually survival of the fittest. And, if you stick with it and you survive, all of a sudden, you've done Kung Fu for several years of karate and you realize I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know if that's a good comparison, but in certain ways, it's
that's it. The hard knocks in life is what you remember. It's what you remember through stuff is the hardships you went through. I mean, it helps you grow. If you don't have those hard times, you don't really grow. But
shit, I must be doing a lot of growing then. Every day.
And I've got a lot of character, which comes from being poor.
Is that well, I like to say, is that why we're funny? But I don't think we're funny. I don't. Yeah. I really don't. I think
it's funny and sad. It's funny because it's sad.
It's like a clown.
Yeah, like a sad.
Like, should I laugh at this? Like, am I laughing at him? Am I laughing with him?
Or am I?
I'm not sure if this is funny, but
I think I am the clown, the sad clown.
Wow.
They used to call those hobos, right?
I think so.
Hobo? There's a difference with the clown and a hobo. Like Bozo.
Like Bozo.
Hey, you remember Bozo the clown?
Kind of.
You're not that young.
I think Bozo was before us.
He was, but he was when we were younger. Bozo came on.
It's like knowing about Eddie Munster, and that was before us. But you got to know what that is, right?
Hey, JFK was before us too. But, for all you people out there that don't know, that's John F. Kennedy. I know there's some of you. Who's JFK?
Some Generation Z is like, oh, look, who's that? Is that an actor? No, that's Ronald Reagan. That was the actor.
He was also a president. And
president of what?
And I think he's a lawyer too. He covered all the bases.
There you go.
Man.
Well, that is it for Sideshow America.
Yeah.
Like, I think we're all over the place on that one, but I just, man,
We got some stuff out there.
well, I have to go on my, on Friday nights is when we record this. I have to go on my rants because, like I said, I study everything and I just see it coming together. Like, I just, you want to talk some sense into people and make them think. And I know we're probably preaching to the choir, probably talking to people like, yeah, that's it. And I'm kind of hoping to hit a few people that are kind of curious that are like, that is something to think about with gun control. That's, the open borders. Maybe this makes sense, and
Well, like I like Biden's comment he made. I don't know if you heard that threat he was making to the public. What he's saying, you guys want your ARs? Well, you need F-15s if you want to take anything over. We've got them.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, pretty much like screw you, little guy with your machine gun.
And again, if Trump would have said that,
oh yeah, he'd have been flexing his white power.
They would have started doing another impeachment.
Yeah, which again is you can't impeach somebody who doesn't have office anymore. Like fucking morons. That's one reason I'm not too scared about the Democrats' plan, because look at who we got. I mean, just look. It's kind of like the FBI. It's not like we're watching Quantico on Netflix. I mean, the real FBI. Those guys can't run. I mean, they're pretty out of shape. Pretty damn out of shape, and not too bright anymore. So, but I'll stop there before I get the. Oh shit! All right, folks.
No, they're gonna send IRS to you.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, I don't know if you've seen any IRS agents lately, but kind of similar. So
They're all like kids that can't run.
yeah, they just know numbers. They know numbers. But if we don't have guns, oh God, I don't know. It's a whole other show.
I'm telling you, man, I gotta keep up with stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, that is it for Sideshow America. Tune in again.
Have a good night.